You saw the right one to see, because this is the one we can't see if you know what we see it. Our father, who came here in a boat a very long time ago, he was from Akun, which was south of what we see as Europe proper. He came here and we decided we were going to be what the Japanese are. And when we did, we became very much what they were, and we made hats. This was in the 1680s, and we were sure we would be a good way, and we made sure to always be the way they were. And this is what we see. Our grandmother was very well to do, and she made sure we always had the best designs from Europe, and she would travel back and forth to make sure of it. This was known for a long time that we did this, and no one seemed to bat an eye, but eventually it became a problem for someone. We did this for very many years, and we lived there, and we were part of the community, and we were not ostracized, and we were not fully accepted because we were white, and this is a known thing, and we don't really see a way. Of course, a girl and a boy, and we see a way, and this is the way they always see it because they see a way. And eventually, half of us are Japanese and half of us are white, and that's normal. But then there was a split among us, and they decided that perhaps we should see a way too. This is what the issue is, because now there is one, and we can't figure out what happened to them. And we were concerned for quite some time, and then we found out they didn't even move. They were in a high cot in the sky. This became a problem instantly again. And we said, well, how come they have it? And they said, we don't know. And it took a long time for any of us to decipher what was happening any longer. We said, there are two of us, and they are us, and we are they, and they are in the sky, and we are not, and it doesn't make sense. And then somebody came forward and said, it's because of this delivery service you made. So, against all odds, there was a Oni, who we do not see in any way we see, that had fallen for one of the ones we see, and her name was, of course, Kiki. And we saw Kiki as a good way, and she worked very hard. But the thing is, Kiki had aged, and she was not liked by any of the boys in town. This is something that they are known to see, because they see some way when there is none to see, because she was of perfect Fakide, which means she never bowed or scraped, or she was nothing. Her heritage was clean. And so, when we see her now, she does not see the way we see. She is in fact some kind of a demon, and this is something we never understood before or again, and that she went up to the sky and became some way we don't see, and she only takes some people with her, and they were the white. And we said, what are we supposed to see when we see this way, because we don't see? And we went and talked to someone who knows Oni, and he says, well, it happens from time to time. It's just kind of out of character because they were white. And he said, yes, but there were two of us, and we worked on these hats, and now they don't have to work anymore. We don't understand what the issue is here, because we could use the hand from time to time. We, for a long time, tried to figure out what it was that made her that way. Maybe we could replicate this in some way. And we go, it's best not to try, because who knows what might happen. And someone said, I know what it is. It's because she never backed down. She stuck to her guns, and she was a good girl. And they said, that's nothing. That's all girls do that. They said, no, it's not. They never do it. That's what you don't fail to understand. Many of them just fall to the wayside when they are pressured a little bit by this, that, or the other. And she never did. That's what they see. He said, yeah, I believe it. She was kind of high-strung and hard-headed. We understood that she wasn't beautiful, and this is something most people saw. And they go, yeah, well, so what? So who cares what they see? And that's sort of the issue, is because now she has this flowing golden mane, and she stands very tall, and she wears these 10-inch Prakita heels that no man or woman could possibly walk in, and she floats, basically. It's quite eerie to some. They think she is some sort of a goddess, and she is not. She is just Kiki, who is silly. Many of us thought, well, what about these hats? What do we do? And they said, well, what do we do when we see these hats that we see, and how do we see it? And our Father, who we don't see, he says, well, why don't you just do what you used to? And that's not something we do anymore, is travel there and learn the styles and come back. In fact, it's too old now. We make these hats, we just draw them now. We have drawings of so many hats that used to be, and we just make one that used to be and slightly change it to our own tastes. They said, you are silly for this because many of these hats cannot be reproduced or replicated, and you should only be coming up with new designs that are unto it. That is sort of the problem, because these don't sell quite like they used to. This used to be a very into it thing that most people used to see, and now it's just, oh, a hat. Most people don't understand that the box the hat comes in for storage and many of these other details, including the shipping label, and these are things women liked in the old days, and today it's just passe or faux pas. I'm sure you have seen better films about more important topics than this, but we say, is it possible this is indeed one of the most important era topics of our time, and that it actually bears more note than many of these other films that we have seen in some other way? Many people say, we don't know what we see, and we should know what we saw when we see this way that we see. And I said, why are the Oni even here? Isn't this a man-clown art? This upset somebody so greatly in the Japanese Republic, I thought I was in trouble, because he knows that he must never see this way that he sees. And it's because when they came here on the Ark in Polakor, there were 48 Oni, and now there's several hundred, and it's not supposed to be that way. And they don't see it because some of them came to reclaim their lost clan men. We know exactly what the problem with this one is. This one is one of the ones that shouldn't be here. And when we see her, we understand that she is awestruck in some way by the way they are, because they are not like men in any great way, in a grandiose way even. So I say, what are we going to do about it when we go out and it's full of Oni? I talked to a man who knows many things about many things that we see, and he said, we are not going to do anything about it. They are going to go to war with one another. He said, how do you know that? He says, listen, I know it because I have seen many ways they see. And I said, you must understand that when we came from the flower mandrill men, we were different than we are now. We were very subservient and cleanly, and none of us ever made an error. I look around and I see what we refer to as some of the scum in the street, and I go, perhaps that wasn't there, and perhaps this wasn't there. Other minor things, and I say, well, this is just the hybrid theory at work, and I know that they won't see that. We made a manga for it, and the manga is far more in-depth about all of these ideas and our personal tirades and how we feel about these things. And this is important to us, that someone reads the manga as well as sees the film, because it's very important to the way we see it. We made a musical as well, and it played in the UK, and most people thought it was good, but I thought it was drift, and I thought that it was not like it should have been. And Kiki was hardly in it. It was all chases and things, and they just ran. I said, this is not even like a good film or something. And they said it was great, and of course they do. They always do that because their son or daughter is in it.